Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Slcmof, and I'm back again with the video. In today's video, we got Asveria, who's another Arkham YouTuber, in my opinion, a great Arkham YouTuber, who I've been talking to the past couple weeks, maybe even months. You can tell me if I'm wrong. But anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is the Mr. Freeze side mission in the Season of Infamy DLC. Obviously, there will be four bosses in the Season of Infamy DLC, and this is going to be one of them, Mr. Freeze. And although there was talks about maybe being Prometheus and other villains like that, it turns out that these are the four that we're going to be getting, which I personally don't have a problem with because I think that the villains that they've chosen all have a history in the Arkhamverse, so it makes a lot of sense to me. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about Mr. Freeze. We're going to divide it into two separate parts. We're going to talk about the plots, and then we're going to talk about the boss fights. And I do believe that there's going to be a boss fight for each of the villains. So if you want to go ahead and quickly introduce your channel, what you do, and we'll see how we go from there.
Okay, how's it going, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm joined with Slcmof here, and first of all, I want to thank Slcmof for the opportunity he's given me to be on his channel, and yeah, let's just talk about Mr. Freeze. In my opinion, this will be the best out of the four, mainly
think so?
mainly because the story in Arkham City was quite interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna let Slcmof start off this video talking about the plot.
Yeah, so the plot for me is tough for this one, for Mr. Freeze, because I think in the other ones it's kind of intuitive, and I think it's very clear where they're going with it. You know, for example, Ra's al Ghul, obviously there's going to be some bad blood between Batman and Ra's al Ghul based upon the ending of Arkham City, and, you know, he had to pretty much, you know, use the Lazarus Pit to come back to life. So, Mr. Freeze, however, if you remember at the end of the side mission in Arkham City, it resolved in quite a, you know, peaceful way, really. Batman, you know, he connected Freeze to Nora, and if I remember correctly, unless I'm missing something, that's pretty much how it ended.
Yep.
For that. So obviously, I mean, you know, I don't really know where they're going to go with it in terms of the plot. I really have nothing to say in terms of a prediction. I will say that I think that they're going to maybe create. I don't know if it's going to be as charged, so to speak, in terms of, you know, Mr. Freeze trying to get at Batman. I think there's going to be definitely some conflict there. I don't really know what it is. Do you have any ideas as to what the conflict will be? The boss fights, to me, I have a lot to say about the boss fights. The plot itself is so ambiguous in the description of what it is that it's so general. We pretty much have no idea.
Yeah, there will be. In my opinion, I think there will be some sort of conflict. But it will be like it's really hard to explain because again, the plot is really ambiguous as to how they're going with it in Arkham Knight. But I think the whole conflict will evolve around Mr. Freeze's insecurity about Nora. Mainly because he cares about her so much, and obviously Batman probably has something to do, or so he will do something which obviously puts Nora at some sort of risk. So Mr. Freeze gets really overprotective of Nora. Again, he has one of outbursts like he did in Arkham City, and yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how they're gonna go about it. Again, it's really ambiguous.
Yeah, it's so tough because in the other ones, you know, like I'm doing Ra's al Ghul with the Real Comic Book Gamer. We're going to talk about that. That's just like so, you know, there's so much to talk about in terms of the plot. This one is just, I'm actually kind of surprised that they brought him back because of the way it resolved. It was so just kind of clear cut in the way that they sent off Mr. Freeze at the end of the city. So, yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, we can definitely just move right into the boss fights because that one is so up in the air as to what they're going to do with that. So for the boss fight specifically, and we can come back to the plot based off what we think the boss fights are going to be. My dream, and I hope yours isn't the same as mine. But
I know what you're going to
say. But my dream boss fight for this in Arkham Knight is really a renovation, you know, a redone version of the Arkham City boss fight that you had in the GCPD. In my opinion, one of the greatest boss fights in video game history.
Yes.
And one of the things that I would really like to see is that again, but more challenging. And one of the things that I said about the, you know, the boss fight that Mr. Freeze had in Arkham City is that if anything, it was not hard enough, and certainly more casual players had challenges with it. But really, you didn't have to use too many of his gadgets. And what I would really like in this game, since there are so many gadgets, is to utilize some of the new ones that we have, like the voice synthesizer.
Yep.
That one's going to be kind of tough because, you know, obviously he's not going to take your commands. You get what I mean? There's a spew of different things that they can do. And a more robust environment, you know, and you can use the hacking device and all kinds of different things. There's so many different things that they can do, and they can make it harder. And they can make double the, because, of course, the whole idea behind the Mr. Freeze boss fight is you can never do the same thing twice because he adapts and he's so smart, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So there's so many new gadgets and stuff that they can do so many different things with it, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I really hope that they do that. And I feel like in other areas they're going to try to renovate or to kind of do a new thing. Like, for example, Racial Goal. I don't think they're going to redo a similar type of thing to the boss fight they had in City. With this, I really, really hope, and I really think that they will. This is also my prediction and my hopes. I really think that they will and hope that they will bring back the Mr. Freeze boss fight in a new way and put a new spin on it. Just make it tougher.
Yeah, what I want to say about this boss fight is, again, I want it to be, you know, sort of a renovation or a remastering of the Arkham City one, because like Slcmof said, in my opinion, and our opinions in general, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this community or whoever watches Arkham videos or has actually seen that boss fight before. Sorry, getting my words mixed up. Yeah, that is definitely one of the best boss fights I've ever played, and one of the best boss fights that has been in the Arkham games as a whole, and in superhero games, or any superhero game for that matter of fact. One thing I actually am hoping for in this boss fight, and also for all the other bosses coming with a season of Infamy, is that Rocksteady have actually stored like some sort of new area for each of them, and I would like to see Mr. Freeze sort of in the same environment that he was in Arkham City, more like a frozen environment. I don't know, they could just in the side missions, they could see one area progressively getting frozen or something. I think that would be cool. It would definitely suit Mr. Freeze as well. And yeah, that's all I really want. I want it to, you know, be a renovation of the Arkham City one with obviously with the addition of the new gadgets in Arkham Knight. And yeah, like Mr. Freeze, I am like the most excited for Mr. Freeze and his boss fight, mainly because of his boss fight, and also because of the plot as well. You know how his insecurity for Nora also like tempts Batman into helping him, but also he has to stop him as well.
Right. But the thing about that, in terms of Nora talking about the plot, you know, Batman has not really done Nora any wrong at any point. So the initiative for him to actually do something bad to Batman or to cause harm to him is, you know, somewhat erroneous for him to do so. So it's going to be interesting what they're actually going to be fighting about. But in my opinion, as I've said previously, I think that each 4 of these side missions will have boss fights guaranteed, and no Batmobile boss fights at all. I think that you'll be able to use thank God, you know, it's bad time. But, you know, they definitely took the criticism of the fans, and to me, no boss fights in Arkham Knight was not my biggest concern at all. But to other people, it was, and I know, you know, I wasn't pleased about it or anything, but I wasn't complaining about it heavily. But the idea is this, you know, the Arkham fans, they all said loud and clear that we wanted boss fights, and they're going to deliver it in this. I absolutely promise it. If they don't, okay, yeah, I saw something funny on Caboose's video. It was, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but it was like making fun of the fact that they're going to have a tank boss fight. He like Killer Croc jumps in the Croco tank. So yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, you saw that. That was pretty funny. I'll put that on screen for those of you who haven't seen it. So yeah, I think they're going to totally straight away that they heard loud and clear, you know, and we may think that they are not listening or whatever, but they definitely heard loud and clear. There's going to be a boss fight, and I don't know if it's going to be this that we just said, but I think there's going to be one for sure.
Hope so.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed, and these are just our thoughts on what we thought mainly the boss fight would be. Obviously, the plot is kind of in the air. Let us know what you think the Mr. Freeze side mission in the Season of Infamy DLC is going to be on, and what you think the boss fight is going to look like, and also what you hope it's going to look like. Are those two things different, your expectations and your hopes? Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks so much for coming on, man. Be sure to check out his channel in the comment section below. Yeah, no problem at all, man. Had a good time. Thanks again for watching. My name's Slikmof, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you later, guys.